Last night, an armed killer made an attempt on my life at my home, which was recently doxed on this platform. The gunman carried a pistol, crossbow, and incendiary devices. I believe he intended to kill me. He is dead now. I am okay. According to the police, the would-be assassin committed a triple homicide in southern Illinois early yesterday before he arrived at my doorstep with his pistol drawn, calling my name. I am grateful to God that I am still alive today. Tragically, the gunman broke into a neighbor's home to evade police and killed two of their dogs. While heartbreaking, it could have been so unimaginably worse. God have mercy. Doxing is not a game. This nihilistic lynch mob behavior must end before anyone else is killed. I will now have to uproot my life and relocate. While I can handle whatever comes to my front door, it is irresponsible to expect my neighbors with young families to share that burden. In the meantime, I will have to contact 24-hour security to protect myself and my property. If anybody would like to contribute to defray the cost, $13,000 a week, of private security and rebuilding my studio, here is a donation link. I can only accept crypto because I am banned from banking services and credit card processing. Thank you. So that is the newest update in the world of Nick Fuentes. We got another clip here. So that first one was just looping there. The mail is just totally open. You could see easily confirm that Nick is is there if you weren't positive. Is this the one? Oh, well, his name is literally on the mail here, so I would think so. Okay, I think at the end he actually says something here. It was being very laggy.
Yo, Nick!
Yo, Nick!
Yo, Nick!
And then he's holding the gun very daintily here. That's very very prim and proper. Love him. But then the crossbow is just sitting here on the ledge. You know, if Nick hadn't just learned his lesson, thanks to the old Jewish lady that showed up and he kicked her down the stairs and pepper sprayed, I suppose, yeah, now you can get a better idea of what that fall looked like there. A lot of concrete and rocks. Very, very rude of Nick, I gotta be honest. Like, obviously, shouldn't be showing up to people's houses, but I think he could be maybe just a little bit more reasonable with the force he used there. But he learned his lesson now, and he just kept the door shut and called the police, and he survived this one, which was a lot more dangerous than the old Jewish woman. So this is the one we just read. He also tweeted out, "The killer parked his car in front of my house and approached my door with his pistol drawn and what appears to be a crossbow. I was live streaming at the time. He rings the doorbell, tries the doorknob, and yells, 'Yo, Nick.'" Yeah, that's the only thing he says in there. You can hear like rustling and stuff, but that's why I had it muted for the rest of the time. All you hear him say is, "Yo, Nick." And then somebody zoomed in and took a screenshot of the gun here. And they on Kiwi Farms, they were trying to figure out what it was. I think they said it's like a Ruger of some sort, a Ruger Mark something. No, they weren't, positive or whatever, but I think that's what I was hearing. And so this guy, Sicko Hunter, he dropped these with just zero context at all, but it sounds like police stuff that I'm assuming is related to this. I was trying to listen if there are any clues in there that confirmed it, but I couldn't make out any addresses or street names or anything that they were saying that are next to Nick, but I'm gonna play them anyway.
Unit Troop 7 additional, wanted investigation, homicide, unlawful use of a weapon, shots fired, Mahomet.
Shots fired.
Troop 7, additional, wanted investigation, homicide, unlawful use of a weapon, shots fired, 1106, Riverside Quarter, Mahomet, 2141. Believed to be the suspect, Steve.
They're saying homicide here, and you might be thinking, Nick is still alive. Who was the homicide? He said just 2 dogs died. Well, this guy is like he killed a bunch of people at home before he left to go visit Nick. And there's an article. I'll read an article in a little bit here about what this guy was getting up to before he went to go visit Nick.
Black sedan, Edward B. Boy 54800, Edward B. Boy 54800, 1028 Colin D. David Breedwell, 1246 East 3300 North Road, Mansfield, on the Gray Cells 11 Hyundai 4-door, Hyundai Elantra. Suspect Colin D. David Breedwell.
Hyundai Elantra. See, I made something out of there. I'm assuming that's the vehicle? Wait. If that was the vehicle, why was the guy wearing a big helmet like that? He's wearing this helmet while he drove his Hyundai, or was this his disguise? Maybe it's just supposed to be his disguise.
Male, light-skinned, 26, 5'10", 140, brown. Male, light-skinned.
5'10", 140. Jeez, what a fatty.
26, 5'10", 140, brown. Last thing, wearing glasses. Ushanka fur hat, dark jacket, dark pants. Last thing, wearing glasses. Ushanka fur hat, dark jacket, dark pants. Vehicle hit on LTR at Oak East on a Prairie View of Mahomet at 2146. Complaint has not been signed. However, reasonable grounds to justify investigators have been established. Authority Mahomet PD 6 Henry 22, State Police Troop 7, Minnesota, Sketchy 464.
I mean, it does sound like he was escaping in his Elantra from what I got out of there, but I'm no detective. Tornado gave us a court appearance update, and I believe this is from the initial or the previous interaction he had with a visitor, the old lady that he kicked down the stairs and pepper sprayed. Fuentes was arrested and charged on November 27th. Fuentes was released on his own recognizance with a summons to appear in court on the charge Tuesday. Under Illinois law, which eliminated the use of cash bail last year, Fuentes was not required to post a bond. Oh, they eliminated cash bail in Illinois, huh? Very progressive. Simple battery, a Class A misdemeanor, is punishable by up to a year in jail and a fine. Battery offenses are eligible for pretrial detention in Illinois if prosecutors ask for it and a judge makes certain findings in the case, but defendants in Illinois have the presumption of release. Fuentes, his attorney, and Rose each appeared for the brief hearing via the live streaming service Zoom before Judge Shantae Rains Welch at the 4th District Courthouse in Maywood. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Rose was the old lady. The judge informed Fuentes of his rights and the standard conditions of his pretrial release, including that he not commit any new offenses and that he appear for each subsequent hearing. So maybe that's why he really just kept the door shut or called the cops. The judge further ordered Fuentes and Rose not to have contact with each other while the case is pending. A status hearing for Jan 16th was set for prosecutors to provide Fuentes' attorney with discovery. A small group of demonstrators who appeared to be holding homemade signs critical of Fuentes were seen outside the courthouse, but left before the hearing took place after learning Fuentes would not appear in person. Oh man, that's gotta be so lame. You show up to protest something that never even happens, you'd feel like such a schmuck. Oh, well, I guess I'll take my giant novelty poster home and try again later. Oh man, that would be a huge bummer. Fuentes' attorney, Robert Gracia, said he advised his client to appear via Zoom to avoid any potential confrontation with the public. Defendants typically appear in person for their initial hearings, but since the COVID-19 pandemic, remote appearances have become more common in Cook County. Supreme Court rules give judges discretion on whether to allow remote appearances, which Raines Welch said had been granted by Geary Cull, the acting presiding judge of the courthouse. A spokeswoman for Chief Judge Tim Evans said the exception was made for Fuentes after Cull was informed of a possible security risk. Rose was also given the option to attend the hearing via Zoom, the spokeswoman said. I'm really glad. I think I avoided accidentally scrolling up too soon because Tornado included a picture. He says, for clarification, this is Nick's judge. I cannot imagine that going well for him, right? Even if she doesn't know about Nick, once she figures anything out, she's definitely not going to be a fan. But I would suspect she might not be a fan already. She's known for being the wife of the Democratic Illinois House Speaker and for her ratings of not recommended and not qualified due to her lack of legal knowledge, lack of trial experience, and lack of reliability. I mean, are those that important for like judge stuff? I don't know about that. One of her critics said they feared that her decisions on the bench could be influenced by politics. Lucky you, Nick. Oh yeah, they did include an article here, but I'm pretty sure it was locked down like crazy, and they want to get $2 out of you or whatever it is. Let's see what we can read. Less than 2 years after Cook County Circuit Judge Shantae Raines Welch took office, the Illinois Supreme Court has appointed her to the Illinois Courts Commission, which hears judicial misconduct cases and can remove judges from office. Okay, that seems like a significant role. Raines Welch, who is married to Illinois House Speaker Emanuel Chris Welch. How is his nickname Chris? That's interesting. Democrat from Hillside, is one of two circuit judges on the commission whose authority to punish judges for wrongdoing includes being able to remove them from the bench. And that's all we get. Oh, here, I'll watch an ad. Well, I'll edit this out. Do they let you speed it up? Am I hacking the system here? Am I speeding it up? Now it's just a 15-second ad. Maybe I won't have to edit it out. I'll just avoid too much dead air and see if this works. We can read the rest of it. No. You said ad or donation. It's a scam anyway. Okay, well, I'm definitely not editing it out now because I'm pissed. Laughing Putin says, looks like we have a name. John R. Lyons. Update at 2:45 p.m. The Cook County Medical Examiner's Office has released the name of the man suspected of killing 3 people in Mahomet Wednesday night before fleeing to Berwyn, where he was shot dead by police. The Medical Examiner's Office identified him as a 24-year-old John R. Lyons of Westchester, Illinois. The investigations into both Mahomet homicides and the shooting in Berwyn are ongoing. Then he links an article. WCIA update. Medical examiner identifies Mahomet homicide suspect killed in Berwyn. Update at 2:45 p.m. Yeah, on the 19th. So these are real recent. The Cook County Medical Examiner's Office has released the name of the man suspected of killing 3 people in Mahomet Wednesday night before fleeing to Berwyn, where he was shot dead by police. The Medical Examiner's Office identified him as 24-year-old John R. Lyons of Westchester, Illinois. The investigations into both the Mahomet homicides and the shootings in Berwyn are ongoing. Update at 12:56 p.m. Berwyn, Illinois, WCIA. Police officials from a suburb of Chicago said the suspect wanted in connection to the triple homicide in Mahomet is dead after a shootout with officers in their town Wednesday night. Officials from Berwyn Police Department said on Facebook that officers responded to a report of an armed man at approximately 11:38 p.m. Responding to the reported location, officers said the subject fled on foot and escaped. The subject then forced entry into a residence where he fatally shot 2 dogs, officials said. Officers then observed the offender fleeing eastbound into a yard. The suspect disobeyed the officer's verbal commands to stop and proceeded to shoot at police officers. Oh yeah, that's a very strong disobey. They said the officers returned fire and killed the suspect. No officers were hurt. Berwyn police officials said early reports indicate the suspect their officers killed was wanted in Mahomet for Wednesday's triple homicide. The investigation has been turned over to the Illinois State Police, which is standard procedure for officer-involved shootings. WCIA has reached out to the Illinois State Police for further information. We are waiting to hear back. Update at 12:30 p.m. Grace Church in Mahomet is holding a vigil. In light of the tragedy last night, we are hosting a prayer vigil tonight from 5:30 to 6:30 in our sanctuary. This is open to all. Our pastoral team will lead the vigil and focus on a time of silent prayer for the family involved and our community. The church located on Oak Street posted. 8:45 update. The Champaign County coroner identified the names of 3 family members who were killed in a shooting Wednesday night in Mahomet. Coroner Lori Brower said Sarah E. Mason, age 26, was pronounced dead at the scene in the 1100 block of Riverside Circuit. I don't know what CT is. Janice L. Mason, age 61, and Caleb M. Mason, age 23, were both pronounced dead shortly after arriving at Carl Foundation Hospital just after 10 p.m. The Champaign County Coroner's Office, Mahomet Police Department, and Illinois State Police are continuing to investigate. 3 people are dead after a shooting in Mahomet Wednesday night. Mahomet police officers were called to the scene on the South Riverside Court around 9:40 p.m. after a report that multiple people were shot. Officers found 3 people with life-threatening gunshot wounds. Officer rendered first aid until Cornbelt Fire and Carl EMS arrived at the scene. Carl EMS. That's awesome. That sounds like Carl, just he is the EMS department. 1 victim was pronounced dead at the scene. The other 2 were taken to Carl Hospital and died from their injuries at the hospital. I'm sorry, I was laughing at Carl Hospital again, not dead people being taken to a hospital. My bad. Police say a suspect has been identified and located. Mahomet Police Department officials said they have requested Illinois State Police's Division of Criminal Investigation and Crime Scene Services to help conduct the investigation. The Champaign County Sheriff's Office and Champaign County Coroner's Office also assisted in the response. This is a developing story. WCIA will provide updates as we learn more. Okay, that is the most recent one here. Let's see. Well, you got anything good in here?
Wednesday night shooting. Police say the suspect's been identified and located. It happened last night around 9:45 at a home on Riverside Court just off of Riverside Drive in Mahomet. Police say that someone reported several people had been shot. The Champaign County coroner says the deceased are 61-year-old Janice Mason, 23-year-old Caleb Mason, who both died at the hospital, and 26-year-old Sarah Mason was also pronounced dead at the scene. WCIA 3's Amanda Brennan is live in Mahomet this morning. Amanda, what do you know so far? Good morning.
Well, Taylor, neighbors, are...
It's an interesting choice to ask somebody a question, start the conversation already, and then kind of just, oh, and good morning.
Waking up to just this yellow crime scene tape outside their windows. They're recalling the events that they watched unfold right outside of their front doors and front windows last night. Many neighbors telling me they just watched as police line the street, flashing lights everywhere. Like you said, it all happened. It started unfolding around 9:40 p.m. Law enforcement was here all night, and like Taylor had mentioned, the suspect has been identified and located. There are still a lot of questions at this time that we hope police address later this afternoon. As for neighbors, I've been out here for about an hour or so. Many of them just surprised. They say this is a quiet neighborhood.
Wow, the neighbors are surprised when a bad thing happens, and then that's crazy. That's good insight from the neighbors. Shout outs to neighbors.
Families that live, just block after block. There's families all over the place. I watched as Many children were getting picked up to school, and on their way to school, they look out their car window to see this crime scene tape. So again, this all unfolded last night. We're learning more information this morning, and we will continue to keep you posted on air and online at WCIA.com. For now, reporting live in Mahomet, I'm Amanda Brennan, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
All right, Amanda, thank you so much. We'll talk to you later.
Thank you very much, Amanda. Much appreciated. I don't know that there was anything new in there, and I was trapped in the video player. But yeah, so the guy, assassin. What is it done? Very sorry. I'm very sorry about that. That made me lose what I was thinking. Oh, yeah, they call him an assassin at certain points in here, but I mean, it sounds like he's more a family annihilator sort of thing, and then also he's like, well, since I screwed up my life all this much, might as well see if I can get Nick Fuentes in while I'm at it. So now I gotta switch again. It's very inconsiderate of the news lady to be where she was. All right, yeah, back over here. Much better, much more comfortable here. So Toji Suzahara says how it started versus how it's going. We got this woman has so many causes buttoned to her jacket. It's almost as intimidating as a guy with a crossbow, a gun, and a helmet, and supposedly incendiary devices. And that sounds messed up. But I thought just it's crazy how generic this guy does look. He really, even down to the khakis and the. I mean, I don't know what these Nikes are called, but they're just the black ones with the white check and the the white soles. I mean, just doing that, that's kind of a good disguise. Like, oh, yeah, try to find a white guy in Illinois. Good luck. And then since he's gonna have to move, let's take a look at where he's moving out from. So, it looks nice from the outside, not bad at all. Lots of people obviously they say it looked kind of like Green Hill Zone, which it does, but I would take that over a lot of the super boring designs where they have it's a brown rectangle or a gray rectangle. But pretty nice, huh? Not bad. Real shame he's got to move out of here. Looks, looks a little dated in parts, that stove for sure, but it looks like a gas. And gas it's pretty solid usually anyway, so big old office. I mean, it is messed up. Like I'm no Nick Fuentes supporter or whatever, but it is messed up. He's just full on gonna have to move now because somebody who murdered 3 people on their way to him showed up at his house and said, "Yo, Nick." Oof. Okay, that looks a little bit creepy there. I like to imagine that this is Nick's room exactly as is. No decorations on the walls or anything, and just the sheets that his his mom or grandma passed down to him on there. Couldn't be bothered to buy his own bedding. Oh, and no central air looks like either. They got window units. And this is it, they attempted to make it look nice, but having the windows in the exact corners like this, right along the edges, and then you have the lamps right on the edges of those. I imagine it's supposed to have a painting here or something that would make it look a little bit better. You need some space there. Space that out a little bit. Looks too crowded. It's stressful to look at that mantle. And all it has on it is books. Not a good sign for your mantle. Oh, candles. The lights were off in that video where Nick encountered the old Jewish woman. So I wonder if he walks around with a lit candle, Ebenezer Scrooge style. I could see that. He wants to save on electricity costs. He seems like he would be the type of miserly rich guy where even though you have a ton of money, you refuse to enjoy it. There we go. That's nice room. Whole wall of windows. And a close up. We got anything else? I think that's it. But yeah, real bummer. Nick's gonna have to move out of there. And I mean, I really don't know what else you would do. And really, so many people on the farms and other places were commenting, just move to a place where you can have a gun, right? Like I'm not a giant home defense type of person, but especially if you're somebody like Nick Fuentes, why not just move somewhere where you can buy a shotgun and do that rather than he said he's paying 13,000 a week for security, which I mean that's got me thinking I should do security. I think I have the build for it and the aptitude. I think I would be a good security guard. And if it's 13,000 a week, I mean, why not? And to protect Fuentes, right? If the type of people you're protecting are Fuentes, oh, I can take on more threatening people than Fuentes, so I deserve at least 13,000 or my share. So I think I'll just leave on watching these videos one more time. Let's go back to the first one. I mean, do we need to say that we believe it's a crossbow? I mean, I'm pretty sure that thing is a crossbow. And he's just standing there, just patiently. He's just patiently waiting there in hopes that he can ring the doorbell. Nick comes out and he just shoots him. I don't know. It's just like I guess I don't know what I expect him to do, like pacing back and forth. It's just odd to walk up with a gun, ring the doorbell, and then stand there as if you actually expect the dude to come out just days after he had a kick him down the stairs and pepper spray him interaction with somebody who knocked on his door. Oh yeah, and somebody else pointed that out. Let's fast forward to the end, if it'll let me. You can see his shoe is untied. I mean, this guy's not prepared at all. You didn't even tie your shoes before you went to go do a murder. Now that I'm thinking about it, if it's supposed to be a disguise, why not have the visor down? Would that not help? That pose.
Yo, Nick!
I wonder if he will just be real jumpy whenever anybody yells "Yo, Nick" to him out in the street. That's rough, because that's the sort of thing even fans of him could yell out, not thinking about it. They're all going to give him PTSD, and that's messed up. Poor guy. Poor guy.